Welcome to the Power of Influence Leadership in Action, the podcast that transforms research into practical tools for leaders who want to inspire loyalty, resilience, and performance. I'm your host, Paulette Sterling. Today, we're exploring why commitment still matters and why it's one of the most underrated assets in any organization. We'll look at what commitment really is, how it shows up in daily behavior, and what you as a leader can start doing this week to strengthen it in your team. Let me take you into a scene you might recognize. A regional financial institution in the Caribbean is rolling out a new digital initiative. The timeline is tight, the technology is unfamiliar, customers are restless. Two branches face the same pressure. In the first branch, staff do what they're told. They arrive on time, process transactions, and follow the script. But there's a heaviness in the air. When systems slow down or customers get frustrated, you hear sighs, you see eyes roll, and feel the quiet message: this isn't my problem. I'm just doing what they said. In the second branch, the pressure is just as real, but the atmosphere is different. When the system lags, team members are quick to reassure customers: stay with us, we're going to sort this out. They share tips with each other, troubleshoot, and look for workarounds. You hear, how can we make this easier for customers? Instead of, why did head office do this to us? Same organization, same technology, same demands. Very different levels of communication and commitment. What you're seeing there isn't just good attitude versus bad attitude. You're seeing organizational commitment in action. Commitment is not about showing up. It's about how people show up with purpose, with belief, and with a willingness to go beyond the job description when it truly matters. And in a world of hybrid work, high turnover, and constant change, commitment is not a nice to have. It's a survival skill. Let's ground this in simple, clear language. When we talk about organizational commitment, we're talking about the strength of the connection between a person and their organization. Not just the contract, but the emotional bond. A committed team member tends to say and feel things like, I believe in what we're doing. I'm proud to tell people I work here. I'm willing to put in extra effort when it matters. This isn't about exploitation or burnout. It's about alignment. The organization's values and the individual values are not at war. Research has consistently linked higher organizational commitment to things leaders care deeply about, such as better performance and customer service, lower absenteeism and turnover, stronger resilience when there's a crisis or a change, and greater willingness to support new initiatives. On the other side, low commitment shows up as quiet quitting, doing the minimum and mentally checking out, high turnover and brain drain, resistance to change, especially when trust is low, and a they versus we story about leadership and the decisions they make. Now, here's the part many leaders underestimate. Commitment is shaped heavily by what happens between managers and their teams day by day. So it's not only about big speeches, town halls, and strategy documents. It's about whether people feel seen and respected, whether their contributions are acknowledged, how decisions are communicated, and how leaders handle mistakes, pressure, and uncertainty. In my own work on managerial behaviors and organizational commitment, the pattern is clear. When managers treat people like replaceable cogs, commitment erodes. When they lead with clarity, fairness, and genuine care, commitment grows across roles, across ages, and backgrounds. Let's turn this into action. Here are three ways you can start strengthening commitment in your team this week. First one, name what you're building and not just what you're doing. Most teams are drowning in tasks and starving for meaning. Take 5 minutes in your next team touch point to connect the work to a bigger why. You might say, here's why this project matters. Here's who it helps. Here's what it means for our customers and for us. That simple act of connecting task to purpose is the difference between I'm processing transactions and I'm helping someone secure their future. Second, ask one powerful question and listen. This week, ask each team member, what makes you feel most connected to this organization and what makes you feel disconnected? You don't need to solve everything on the spot. Just listen. Capture patterns and then take one visible action based on what you hear. Even a small change, like adjusting how you communicate, acknowledging effort more consistently, clarifying expectations, all signal your experience matters here. That's fuel for commitment. A third one, catch commitment in the act. Look for one example this week where someone goes beyond their job description in a healthy, values aligned way and name it. You might say, I noticed how you stayed with that customer to make sure the issue was fully resolved. That kind of ownership really reflects who we say we are as an organization. When people see that commitment is recognized, not exploited, they're more likely to repeat it. I want to bring you into this conversation. Think about your own team or a team you've been part of. When have you felt truly committed to an organization? What did your leader do or stop doing that made that possible? And where do you see commitment fading today? Share your reflections with me on LinkedIn or Facebook using the hashtag Influence in Action. I'll be reading your stories and I may feature some themes in a future Insight drop. You can also take this question into your next one on one. From 1 to 10, how committed do you feel to this team right now, and what would help move that number by 1 point? Just 1 point. That's where influence begins. Commitment isn't compliance, it's belief in action. As leaders, our job is not to force that belief, but to create the conditions where it can grow through how we communicate, how we make decisions, and how we show up in the moments that matter. If today's episode sparked something for you, I'd love you to subscribe to the Power of Influence Leadership in Action podcast so you never miss an episode. Share this episode with one leader who's navigating low engagement or a big change. And if you're ready to go deeper, Join the Legacy Impact Circle right here at Sterling Business Management, where you'll get bonus episodes, quarterly tools, and a leadership circle committed to influence that matters and endures. In our next episode, we'll step into the manager subordinate dance, the everyday interactions that make or break trust. Until then, remember, leadership is lived in moments. Choose your moments with intention.